order.
All praises to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, and let's get right into this lesson.
New World Order isn't coming. New World Order isn't coming. It's already in progress.
Show me the receipts.
Every independent nation that refused alignment was removed. Iraq, Libya, Yugoslavia, Venezuela, Cuba, now Iran. Using the same pretext, the plan is clear. Destroy sovereignty, install a digital control grid with IDs and programmable money, centralize economies through stakeholder capitalism, engineer society via Agenda 2030, erase individual freedom, and control all narratives through media and tech.
This is coordinated?
Yes. WEF and UN documents openly describe it. Global governance.
Says right here, the Great Shift explores the transformative changes in global
Replacing nations, digital system governance,
in global governance, economics, and societal norms as humanity grapples with unprecedented challenges.
Replacing nations, digital systems replacing choice, and engineered scarcity replacing freedom.
So we're already in the end game.
Exactly. A sophisticated, documented plan, not wild theory. The truth was always there. Now you see the full picture. New World.
Right, and we know that this will also lead to the MOTB, right, also known as the CHIP, right, and we know that the elite's plan is globalism, right, where it's a new world order, right, for their plans to have a one world religion, one world government, right, and a one world citizen. Now we're gonna get this video right here.
I let them talk. And if it involves me, I'm going to jump. I pick my passengers up, I let them talk. And if it involves me, I'm going to jump in it. This one didn't involve me. This is that one time I'll jump right in on the conversation. And I think y'all might want to stick around and hear this motherfucker through. I picked up an elderly white couple in their mid to late 70s. Well, the fuck to do all. When I say well to do all, we ain't talking hundreds of thousands. I'm pretty sure in the upper millions. Trust me on this shit here. They were here in New Orleans, conducting business, in other words, getting rid of businesses that they own. Finalizing that shit. On their way to California, I just dropped them off the airport to finalize the last properties they own in this country. How do I know? They on there talking to their daughter. She's in London on her way to Canada to dispose of whatever business they got going on out there. So now is a little curious. I'm curious as a motherfucker. So I just asked, and listen, I don't want to get in y'all business, but is something going on? I said, I know we talking about the war and all of this, and I hear y'all flying around getting rid of stuff. The wife didn't say nothing, but she looked at her husband, he looked at her. The man told me, he said, listen, all I can tell you is this here. Just get you and your family together. I said, sir, listen, I hear this on TikTok. I hear it all the time. I said, I know prices are going high. That man said, this ain't got nothing to do with prices. Just get your families in line. If you can, try to put things together to manage at least a minimum of 6 months to take care of you and your family. So I said, is it going to be that serious? That man told me, what's your worst nightmare? What's the worst thing you ever thought could happen to you? That's why I can't think offhand. He said, anything that you ever thought was the worst could happen to you, put that 10 times that amount. He said, listen, I don't tell you these things to scare you. And I don't want you to be afraid because there's no reason to be afraid. What's going to happen is going to happen. Now, I'm listening to this man telling me this shit. And he said, but, sis your ass, just get you and your family in line. So, I'm telling everybody out here, some shit is going on. Because these people here, trust and believe me, if y'all would have saw them, you know I'm not bullshitting about these. These motherfuckers is up there some fucking way. I don't know what the fuck they do. But I do know they getting rid of shit for a reason. And when that man told me a minimum of 6 months to get my shit lined up for that little time, guess what? A minimum of 2 motherfucking years. My shit is going to be lined up. I don't give a fuck if you call me paranoid or hallucinating. I'm following motherfucking suit.
Now, I must say, This is why it's so important to trust in Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, instead of in man. Now, of course, Esau has a way of saying something, but at the same time by saying nothing, right? As you can see, the old white man, old Edomite, told the Jake that something bad was going to happen, but didn't tell him what was going to happen, but still told him prepare 6 months. And Esau is like that. He will throw things out there. Sometimes he'll tell you exactly what it is, but he'll always leave some stuff out, right? He will never really try to give you the full picture, but we had the full picture from the Bible, right? And this guy said he was going to stock up for 2 years, but however, it may not work like that. He may not have access to all his whatever he stocks up for 2 years, right? Now we know the thing that we assume is going to happen within the next 6 months is possibly this energy lockdown, right? Because this energy lockdown is happening now. So imagine if this, with whatever is going on with the Strait of Hormuz and the price of oil, imagine 6 months later where that will lead us. That could be the 6 months that the old white couple or old white Edomite was talking about. Now, of course, we don't know for sure, but it does seem like this is it. Now let's get a scripture. It says in Revelation chapter 12, verse 12, Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because you know that he hath but a short time. Right. And for Slovakia. And for the past couple of years, what is the constant saying we've been constantly hearing all the time? We've been hearing it from YouTube channels. We've been hearing it from even government suggestions. And that is what? Prepare for 6 months. Right? So it's like something is going to go down very soon. Because they're constantly being told to prepare from 6 months from people on YouTube, from people on TikTok, like the man said, from government official warnings or documents to prepare for 6 months, and you even got these elites saying sometimes the elites, which that old white Edomite may have not been an elite, but he's in somewhere, also saying prepare for 6 months. So it just goes to show you this prepare for 6 months thing has just gone louder and louder and louder, right? Now we're prepared for what we have, right? But we don't want to over prepare. You don't want to be a doomsday prepper, right? Because you're gonna have people that doomsday prepped that didn't trust in the Lord, and what's gonna end up happening is all their food is gonna be taken away from them and given really to the elect, right? Either those doomsday preppers, their food's gonna either be taken away from them, or they may be somewhere where they can't even get to their food, right? So let's say they doomsday prepped, and let's say the doomsday prepping is in their house, and let's just say their house is in Mississippi, right? But the trouble they're caught on, they're all the way in New Jersey. Now, of course, that may sound like an exaggeration, but it just goes to show you, you cannot out-prep the judgment of the Lord. You cannot out-prep Yahweh, right? This is why it's much better to have what you need right? A little extra won't hurt. But ultimately, trust in Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai for our needs, for our food, for our water, right? Because that's really what's gonna uh hold us in those times, right? Says says Isaiah chapter 33 verse 6, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, the strength of salvation. Their fear of the Lord is his treasure, right? The wisdom and knowledge is going to be the stability of thy times, and wisdom is fear of the Lord. So the fear of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai is going to be the stability of thy times, right? And of course, knowledge in him, right? And it says the strength of salvation, the fear of the Lord is his treasure. So that's really our treasure. That's really what's gonna help us in those days, is having a fear of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Not just in those times, but right now, before you hit those times. Right? Now let's get Job chapter 20, verse 23. When he is about to fill his belly, Yahweh shall cast the fire of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. Right? Because in the other video we seen that they're trying to implement their globalism. But what's gonna end up happening is they're gonna get far at their goal, but it'll be struck down all at once. Right? Like said, Esau will not live as a king forever. Esau's time is very short, and he knows it. So when you hear all this, this is why you have these possible energy lockdown coming down right now. Right? Because Esau knows his time is short. Right? We see this Agenda 2030 date hasn't changed. And we're in 2026. So imagine how drastic and how crazy things are going to have to be to fulfill that agenda by 2030. So I just hope this lesson was edifying to the hopeful elect and the elect, and 144,000, and all praises to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Shalom.